What's going on, guys, and what's up, fellow Spider-Man fans? We are going to be talking about some more Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS5 coming out later on this year. Now, if you guys have already know, this is going to be a standalone game. This is not a sequel to Spider-Man PS4. This is pretty much a spin-off of Spider-Man PS4, and it is taking place after the events of 1 year of the events of Spider-Man. Insomniac Games version. Now, of course, there's comics, there's other things that's going on in that world that they're going to possibly be exploring, but there's also other characters that they need possibly going to be reacting to as well. New characters possibly going to be introduced into this game, also characters we know from the comics, from the shows, from the movies. Now, in the very first game, we also do not know who's going to be in this game villain-wise. We know Miles is going to be in this game, obviously. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, we know he's going to be in the game, obviously. They've already stated that, but we don't know what villains are going to be in this game. We don't know who's going to be making a return. We do not know who is going to be possibly trying to get out of prison. I mean, there was over, I want to say, about 9-10 villains in the very first game. We had Kingpin, we had Scorpion, we had Electro, we had Tombstone, we had Rhino, we had Doc Ock, we had Taskmaster, we had Mr. Negative, we had, of course, Vulture, and we also had like mainly the ones that we all knew. I'm not going to say continue, but guys, we do not know who's going to be returning or who's going to be new. Now, obviously, with Miles' character, we don't know if he's going to be facing different characters we know from his version. We do not know if we're going to be seeing, like, let's say, Scorpion again. Rhino may come back as well. Or even, since now, is this going to be when they introduce possibly Venom to the franchise, as well as Green Goblin? Because obviously what we see from the Green Goblin in Miles' universe, of course, he's a mutated goblin, rides on the glider. So we may see that with Harry Osborn, not Harry Osborn, but we may see that with Norman Osborn becoming the Green Goblin. We may see a possibility of that maybe happening at the end of the game, because a lot of people are speculating in the trailer where Miles' suit is just getting exploded on is possibly with the Venom suit trying to come out with Harry, because of course that's what's keeping him alive, I'm guessing. And in the very end of Spider-Man PS4, we don't know again necessarily what is going to happen. We don't know what kind of characters we're going to get. We may get Miles' uncle as the Prowler that we saw in, of course, the Multiverse Spider-Man, as well, of course, in the comics. So we don't know if he's going to make an appearance about a year later, because again, this is a year later. So Miles has been training with Peter now for over a year to become his own version of Spider-Man, and of course take up the mantle as Spider-Man if anything does happen to Peter, or if Peter wants to, I guess, retire at some point. So there's a lot of possibilities of what can happen in this game. Again, we don't know if Doc Ock is going to break out of prison. We don't know if Scorpion or any of the Sinister Six is going to break out of prison, or Kingpin, or even Tombstone. So any of these ones that Peter has faced, we do not know if they're going to make another appearance or a guest appearance in the game. Hopefully they do. I'd like to see at least maybe one familiar face of a villain that was from the PS4 game that we see in this game, to kind of go, oh, okay, so I guess we got a new Spider, whatever, like some cider mark that they make, like another bug or another spider in, town or something like that. That normally most of the villains like to make some type of sarcastic remark about, which honestly would be cool to see. I'd like to see, honestly, Miles go up against the Prowler. I'd love to see him go up against Scorpion, possibly Rhino as well. I'd like to see him go up against any kind of villain that we've seen within the Spider-Verse for years to come. But at the same time, I'd like to see someone a little different. I'd like to see someone new. I'd like to see some new blood, so to speak, in Spider-Man PS5. I'd like to see what exactly they're going to do with Miles' character, if we're going to have some side villains that we need to take care of, like we did with Tombstone, like we did with Taskmaster as well, or even with Black Cat in the first one. I'd like to see who they're going to bring up. Are they going to bring up anything from the Spider-Verse possibly within Spider-Man PS5? We do not know necessarily, again, exactly who they're going to be introducing until they actually state this trailer, gameplay. So we don't know necessarily until later on. They're going to say, okay, hey, this is who we're going to bring out. This is who we're going to be talking about. This is who we're going to be fighting against. So once again, we know that Miles fights different than Peter. We know that he's going to be his own version of Spider-Man, which once again is perfectly fine. But we also do not know again who we're going to be facing. We've seen possible ideas who we're going to be facing in the trailer. Very hard to go on because they don't show no faces. They just show like the legs, the arms. We don't see no face, we don't see no body, so it's really hard to see who exactly we're going to be facing within the game itself. So well, I'd like to know, guys, in the comments, are we going to be seeing a return villain? We're going to be seeing a new villain that they are going to be putting in the game for the first time. Once again, it could be the Prowler, it could be Green Goblin, it could be Venom, possibly spin-off to Spider-Man 2. Who knows? We don't know necessarily what they're going to do until we actually see it on the gameplay itself and on the PlayStation. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. If you guys are new to the channel, consider about subscribing. Leave a big fat like on the video. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are about this. Who would you like to see return as a villain, or who would you like to see as a villain in Spider-Man Miles Morales PS5? Let me know what you guys know in the comments down below, and I'll be seeing you guys once again on the next one.